Hi guys, this is your explanation video for your research graphic organizer for your trip. This is really the first step to planning your trip and figuring out everything else. So you can't devise an itinerary or figure out costs unless you know what your flight's going to be, what you're going to eat, where you're going to stay, and the things you're going to see. Okay, so the first thing you're going to research is 3 different options in which to take your chosen vacation. So you have to decide, where am I going to go on vacation? So with mine, I think I'm either going to go to Toronto or New York City. Okay, so you have to find out a flight in either sometime during the winter months. So choose 1 week during the winter months, then 1 week during the summer months, and then 1 week during the fall months. So we're going to pick again, a flight from each of these kind of times of the year, because sometimes for certain cities, there's a high season where things are very expensive, but maybe the weather's better. And there's a low season where things are cheaper, but maybe the weather isn't as good. Okay, so for each of your options, your time options, you need to find a flight cost that is round trip from Toronto. We're going to be flying from Toronto. I want to know the airline and airline number, and the length of the flight. Sorry, the cost, airline number, and the length of the flight. So I'm going to use Google Flights to find that. So I just searched in Google Flights, Toronto to New York City. So we don't really have to go too far beyond this website to figure out the costs. So I know the cost of my trip is round trip, $313. The length is 1 hour and 35 minutes. And the airline and airline number, we have to hit that arrow. And the airline is Air Canada, and my airline number is AC7646. So all of the information I need to find for each of my flights is right here. And then I can put in my flight cost, my airline and flight number, and my length of flight. It's all there. Okay. Now to find out how much you're going to eat, because you have to eat on this vacation you're doing. And to figure out and estimate the prices, I like to go to another website I provided called thepriceoftravel.com. And I went to thepriceoftravel.com and found, again, I clicked on their New York City link, which is under North America. And it tells me, again, the price of a budget breakfast, a budget lunch, and a budget dinner plus coffee, because that's all you guys can do. So you can use these prices to estimate, again, the prices of, again, your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and your snack. It also asked you to find the exchange rate for $1 Canadian to, in this case, I'm traveling to the US, $1 American. And that's an easy thing for Google to tell you. You would just do $1 Canadian to USD. And again, $1 Canadian, don't even have to click it. $1 Canadian equals 76 cents American. So that's what I would put in this box right here. Okay, accommodations. So you have to stay somewhere. You can't stay on the street and you can't stay with a friend. You have to stay in a hotel, but you can choose. I recommend Expedia, hotels.com, or Airbnb. It's up to you. So I am choosing hotels.com. So you need to tell me the location details, so the address of your hotel and the name of it, and how much it costs to stay there per night. And I want you to find at least 3 options. So I was looking at Toronto here. So the name of my hotel is 1 King West Hotel and Residence. 1 King Street West is my address. And my price per night is this number right here, $134 Canadian. So I want you to find at least 3 different hotels or 3 different places to stay at in your hotel, or in your city, sorry. And the last thing you're going to do is find 5 attractions, 5 things to see in your city. So I like to use the Price of Travel, that website I introduced you earlier, because it actually gives you again, a whole bunch of things to see in New York City. So again, you can pick from this list, or you can go off this list. If, again, you may want to go see a baseball game, a hockey game, or a football game, or some other event in your city. You'll have to go outside this website. But Price of Travel will give you what it thinks are the top attractions for your cities. And again, you need to find 5. Again, tell me again what it is, how much it costs to do it, and how would you get there. So again, are all of your attractions close to your hotel? Could you walk? That's free. But for a big city like New York, you may have to take a subway or a taxi ride. So you'd have to note that information here. And that information is in Price of Travel as well. So maybe you have to take, again, a lot of taxi rides around New York. Well, a 3-kilometer taxi ride will cost you $4. So just make note of that information in this section too. Okay. So make sure you're completing this research organizer in its entirety. Honestly, the more effort and work you put into this, all of the steps that come after this in this project are a lot easier. Okay, if you have any questions, Gmail, Google Classroom, or Google Meet, guys. Have a good day.